All right, cool. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Rich from Smartphone Nation, and I'm with Tony from Smartphone Nation as well, also from Classic Elite.
Yeah, what's
So,
going on, man?
not too much. I was talking to Tony before. I'll start this off with a story. I always have a story. See, the funniest thing is one thing I learned is when you take care of electronics, you have more problems than when you use them as a beer coaster.
Exactly.
So, kind of. He already knows the story we were talking about before we started recording. It kind of worked out in a good way, though. Yeah, I'll make it the abridged version. So you guys know I got the Wii U. If you checked, I'll have a link, or I'll make Tony. He's going to upload the video, put a link below to my Wii U news story where I show I got the second Wii U. Long story short, the fan had a grinding noise on it, which I was like, son of a bitch. Tony was nice enough to send me what's called an MHL cable. That's what it's called, right? MHL. I have the
Yeah,
initials right.
MHL, the HDMI. Yeah.
And as I was packing up the Wii U, which I had full intent on just exchanging it and getting another one, I have an HTC Evo V, which is one of the earlier, I don't think it was the first, but earlier phones to work with that MHL HDMI format. Like, let me just try this for the hell of it. So, because I work a night job, I just woke up around 2. I was packing up the Wii U, and I literally probably almost shit myself a little bit. I plugged the phone in. You guys have no idea. I surfed the web on my 1080p TV using my semi entry level smartphone. I was watching videos, playing games. I'm like, this just totally defeated the purpose of me getting the second Wii U.
It's freaking amazing the first time you do that.
It is. It just blew my mind. I never did it before, Tony. I could not believe like how good it worked. So I brought back the Wii U. I ended up getting for Smartphone Nation and just in general, to be honest with you, I got a Acer Iconia. What the hell one did I get? I think Tony probably knows more than I do.
A110 maybe?
Yeah, I got the A110. And it actually ended up being an essential thing to get because even though that cable, the MHL cable works great, the hot plug doesn't like it. And the hot plug, everything else was strange because everything else I've thrown at it, but I think it's because my phone only refreshes at 30 frames per second when you hook it up with the MHL. So I think that has something to do with it. But
yeah, those MHL cables can be finicky in and of themselves anyways, you know? So like my old phone, which was in the same generation of your phone, it had a straight HDMI port and it worked fine with the plug. So I think it's just those MHL cables sometimes and like transferring the signal through another device.
yeah, it's funky too because it's also you gotta, I don't know guys, you know, if you ever use an MHL cable. For those who haven't, it's the new way to get HDMI out of your phone. It works through micro USB, but you have to plug it into a power source on top of plugging the HDMI in. So it's just kind of a weird way. I kind of wish they just stuck with the micro, but because technology is getting so damn small, they need every millimeter they can get. That's why they made it. But whatever, it just was a mind-blowing thing. And the Wii U having a grinding noise to the fan, which I'm coming to find out a lot of them do, and a lot of people had to return them, ended up being a good thing. I needed to get the tablet, and it's a Tegra 3 tablet, so it's pretty beast, and it was cheap. You guys should look into it. I got it at Best Buy. You probably find it even a couple bucks cheaper. It was the Acer Iconia, I think A110. Tony will put something in the description if it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Or a different name, I should say, or maybe he'll find a cheaper link on top of it. You guys can check it out. It has.
I already did.
Okay, he already did.
Well, you can get it for $199 on Amazon with no tax and free shipping, or you can get it for $179 on there refurbished with no shipping cost. So pretty good.
Yeah, don't get. My personal opinion is don't get refurbished with portable devices, but everyone.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So yeah, get it on Amazon. You get it without tax, and it'll be even cheaper. And it has a HDMI out, and it has micro USB, or not micro. You can put micro SD cards in it, which you can't do with the Galaxy Nexus 7.
Yeah.
So I just talked for a lot.
Dude, that's totally fine. It's interesting. I'm excited that we're starting this channel, Smartphone Nation. We're starting it, and we're doing it with the ability to capture in HD. You're going to be doing the Android side on, with the HD PVR2, and then I'll be doing the iPhone side. And the quality is obviously so much better than having a camera and shooting it at your device. So I'm excited that you picked that tablet up for that reason. But it's been cool watching I've been reviewing iOS games for the past little over 2 years, and a lot of it's been on the Classic Leak channel. and it's been funny, the transition. I remember having an iPad 1, and I would get the camera on. It was like a big, 20-minute setup time to get all the angles right and everything, so I could finally do a game review. And then the first time, when I think we had an iPad 2 at the time or something like that. The first time I was able to actually hook it up to the TV, I had the same experience you did. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then I hooked it up to the HD PVR2, and I was able to record a video in half the time, and it was just absolutely amazing. So I think we're pretty lucky to be able to start our channel off this way. So
Yeah, with the newer, I mean, if you really think about it, it isn't like the Hauppauge, and I know there's the Elgato, which I don't know too much about except for the fact it doesn't have its own hardware. We're the only ones with the HDMI inputs, minus I think there was that PCI Express card from a while back. But that thing was a turd. I forgot who made that. It was like a really expensive capture card. But yeah, doing this even a couple years ago, it was really almost impossible if you record gameplay from tablets or smartphones, except for just having a camera pointing at it. So it's kind of a good time to start. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's really fun. It's a good thing. So are you do you have your eye on any Android games that you're going to be doing with the Iconia tablet?
I want to do, and I know people are going to call me out on this, which I want to talk about free to play anyway, which is my 90% of the reason we're doing this video. Dead Trigger, because it takes advantage of the Tegra hardware, where they have water effects and better lighting effects, smoother frame rate, I heard too. I want to do Modern Combat 4, but I'm going to wait for something. I mean, Tony and I were just talking about it. We might be getting a product to review, the Moga Gamepad Pro, which it's designed to work with. And because I have the game now, because I got it because I want to review it, and it's $6.99, so I didn't want to wait around for a review copy of it. Yeah, it's first-person shooters and touchscreens, especially when they're trying to make it like Modern Warfare. You don't work too well.
Yeah.
Especially on a small phone. It was like I wanted to kill myself, and now I know why they probably are pushing the Moga with it now, because it's almost unplayable with a touchscreen. So
yeah,
that'll be an interesting product to review.
Well, I hope you get it. I have a controller for the iPhone, and it's the only licensed controller. It's not licensed by Apple, but it's licensed by Gameloft, who makes Modern Combat 4 and some of the biggest titles. But the damn thing is so uncomfortable. It's made by like Duo Pro Games, and I'm trying to think about how to explain it to you. I got it for review, and it was first of all, it was originally $80, and it only worked with 6 games. And now it works with like 8 games, and they've kind of lost some support for it, but it only works with Gameloft games. But I was thinking like, okay, it'll be still sweet to review because it has, Modern Combat and all that. And
which is arguably the best shooter on the platform, both on iOS and Android right now.
Yeah, and so it didn't have Modern Combat 4 Day 1 support, I was just like, how should that even be possible, because it's licensed by Gameloft. And so
yeah.
But it's like holding I don't even know how to explain it. It's like holding a soapbox almost. It's just this weird rectangle that's so uncomfortable that I'm like, screw it, I'm just going to play it on my iPhone anyways, because this thing is so damn uncomfortable. I mean, it's crazy. But I'll have to maybe do a review of it for the channel.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if it's still available to buy, why not do a review of it? But yeah, man.
Let's talk about free to play.
Yeah, you just read my mind. So free to play. A lot of people called me out when I put up that Into the Dead video, and they were like, "Oh my God, Rich, you were just complaining about free to play and how you hope it dies." And which, you know what? 98% of that I still stand by, because there are some games, and I'm sure Tony, you've tried them because you've been doing mobile reviews longer than I have, that they literally cripple you. And when a game cripples you, I want free to play to die. But Into the Dead is an example, at least as much as I've played it, which is a decent amount, where you could go and purchase things in it, but you can actually get places without doing that. And when they do that, when they have that balance, which I should have talked about more, and that was my own mistake. When they have a balance where, okay, like, you could purchase things if you're impulsive and you want to get there quicker, or you want to do something quicker, that's fine. But if they have the balance where you could actually achieve and just get there by working your way up, that I can deal with. And if as long as that balance happens with free to play, then I could tolerate it and I can embrace it more. Maybe I was being a little over the top in that video, but there has been some experiences I had in the past with some free to play games where it was just like, why is it even free? They should just tell you that like after 30 seconds, you're going to be spending money.
Oh yeah, and I literally over the past 2 years of mobile reviews have watched the market change right before my eyes. Like there were no free to play games when it first came out,
Mm-hmm.
I was almost all at least 99 cents per game, or there would just be like a really free crappy game, but any premium game was 99 cents or higher. And then all of a sudden these big companies like Gameville and Gameloft and these companies just stopped selling games for 99 cents, and this freemium model came out, and there was this transition time where everything was out of whack, and it was really pissing me off, because
Yeah.
everyone was experimenting with free to play and no one could quite get it right, and it was just off and on. But then we had some random games like Temple Run and stuff like that like they had this really balanced approach to it. And I don't know why, like I agree. I don't know why people complain about free to play now, because the entire market has completely went there. And so every game company is doing it now on the mobile platform. But the idea is exactly what you're saying. It has to be balanced. I mean, that's become one of the main factors I, bring into a review of a free to play game is, are they just trying to rip you off, or is it an actual balanced approach? And I think anyone who's a big gamer like us and people who are more hardcore gamers, like a good balanced free to play game should appeal to them, because they have to work hard and they have to play it longer and they have to kind of grind through it to be able to unlock everything. And to me, that's a good game experience.
Yeah, it is a good game experience. And it's the people did mention good games in the comment section when I made that free to play video, and they did have good points. And like I said, I was a little over the top in that video, especially after I've been playing. Now that we do Smartphone Nation, I have played some really good free to play games where it doesn't get in your way. But earlier on, especially, I don't know what the hell game was I playing that I was just like pointless. I can't remember it now. It was like, it might as well have not been free to play, but yeah, there are, and it seems like they're kind of starting to strike that good balance. As long as they don't do shady stuff like that article, like I did that video on, where they're trying to like trick little kids into, wiping out their parents' bank account, you know, or you need this sword, so spend $200 on it. Just click
Oh,
here.
yeah, those games definitely exist. I mean,
They do.
it's, and it's usually some of the big commercial companies that are trying to rip people off too,
Yeah,
like
like
the,
EA and stuff. EA got called out for one game they had.
oh, it's great. Well, I just did that one from MTV Networks on our channel, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Rooftop Run.
I was just watching that before
And
we
I'm
start
like,
talking.
what the hell is this crap? Like, seriously, like, it was, there's no way to unlock anything in that game without spending money, you know? And I'm just like, I just wanted to throw my phone. And then in the same breath, I'm reviewing this game right now. It's going to be up on the channel tomorrow. That's just amazing. Like one of the most fun, balanced, free-to-play games I've played, and it's just an absolute blast. And I've been playing it for 2 days straight, and I can't get enough of it. So, I think we need to be careful lumping free to play into any just one category, because it's still kind of a diverse approach that people are taking. But I mean, I think that's one thing we'll commit to here on this, on Smartphone Nation, is to call out those games that are just trying to steal money from people and really prevent people from having to, get sucked into that.
And
So,
it was my wrongdoing for lumping them all into the turd category, because that's definitely not the case.
dude,
And
you're
there's some.
fired. Get out. Get out. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I did though, man. I mean, and I remember it was funniest thing is like I was remember playing Dead Trigger even before I made that video, and I remembered afterwards like you screwed up, because Dead Trigger is a perfect example of a game that you could play the hell out of and not spend a penny on it.
Yep.
So the free to play, I'm gonna be more open minded about it and not just be a wiener about it. And and there's a lot of good free to play games, and now that I have a more capable Android device, that tablet. I'll be able to dig into them more, which I'm looking forward to.
Well,
Like you get Duke Nukem, the full version of Duke Nukem, free to play, and it's just free to play. You have the occasional little ad that pops up that you can just press X to get out of. That's beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it's outstanding. And I mean, I watched your Into the Dead review, and it made me download the game on iOS, and I'm loving it. It's addicting.
Yeah,
So,
and that's one. That's actually a great transition into what we're going to talk about next. You blow that up on a big screen, it still looks good.
oh yeah.
Which brings me into the other thing I want to talk about was using that MHL cable is that you've seen, Tony, my other stories, where people, even like Tim Sweeney from Epic Games, is saying that really everything you do is going to be on your cell phone. You want to type a report, you're going to hook it up to a docking bay and use Microsoft Word through your cell phone. Gaming is through your cell phone. And it made me really realize tonight when I was using that cable and I was playing like Need for Speed and Dead Space and Into the Dead, which yeah, it's a quick little run and gun game, but the other two kind of they could be console games. It makes you realize that it's the beginning. And unfortunately, as much as I love consoles, I don't want to see this happen. And I'll let you put your take on it now. I really feel like this is the beginning of the end of conventional console hardware. Don't know if it's going to hit PC as hard, but I really think this may be the last generation of consoles. What do you think of that?
Well, from the day I started doing mobile reviews, I mean, it's funny to me now that there are hundreds and hundreds of mobile phone review sites, and I'm not trying to act like I'm this old man who was like one of the first people to do it. I'm not that type of guy, and that kind of thing. But I remember doing it 2 years ago, and people would leave comments laughing, like, this isn't gaming, this isn't gaming. And every forum you go to on IGN and places like that, people are like, this isn't real gaming, and this isn't, but those numbers of people have become less and less over time because more and more people are giving it a shot. And, like for where I am in my life with a family and all that stuff right now, mobile game reviews are incredible experiences because I can take it with me anywhere. I don't have to sit in front of a TV. I can, play it at any time. And in addition to that, they've developed these blockbuster titles. I mean, I'm playing an RPG on here, Ravensword Shadowlands, that's like a Skyrim in my pocket, Now, obviously, it doesn't have the production value and the graphics and all that stuff of Skyrim, but it's pretty dang good for a cell phone, And so I think what we're going to see is instead of, the consoles versus the phones, I think we're going to see like some form of hybrid type console that comes, I think the Ouya stuff is maybe the beginning of some of that, but not the epitome of it. But I think we're definitely going to see something where you can bring your cell phone home, sit it in front of your TV, wirelessly AirPlay it to your TV, and be playing games on the big screen with a controller, And we're really close to be able to do that right now. You can already do that some on the iPhone with the Apple TV. We're just missing the controller. But I do think we're going to see it all coming together for a mobile and at-home gaming experience in one system of some sort.
Yeah, here, like I was just saying, you play, even on my 2-year-old, now piece of dog crap, Android HTC Evo V, Modern Combat looks good. And you could already basically do what you were just talking about. Like if I get that gamepad to review, or if I pay, like say we don't get it and I just they have the other older one, I could hook up that tablet I just got with micro HDMI, which I have the cable, hook it up Bluetooth, it's wireless, sit down, and if you've seen the graphics, if you've watched reviews, maybe if you edit this in, you could edit in some Modern Combat video, which people have directly captured via HDMI. It doesn't look that far away. I mean, yes, some of the textures are softer and the lighting's not going to be as, you know what I'm saying? But it's almost already there.
Oh yeah.
And even Michael Pachter said it too. Think about it. The Samsung Galaxy S4, the next cell phone they're releasing, at least overseas, I think it's going to have a really beefy quad-core processor here in the States. It's going to have an 8-core processor in it. That's a lot of the argument, like you always see in my comments when I say this is the future, which, look, I like consoles too. I kind of don't want to see it happen. But the gap between portable hardware, the capabilities of portable hardware and like your desktop PC, the gap is going to get smaller and smaller. I mean, think about it, Tony. I'm sure you watched the PS4 announcement when they had the whole PS4 thing in New York City. they showed like the next Killzone game, and yes, it looked impressive, but with each generation, it's not as mind blowing the graphics, and
Yeah.
eventually the portable hardware is going to be like right, like up to the bumper of desktop hardware in your PC, and it's not going to be that far away to the point where the difference in visuals is not going to be enough to say, oh, I'd rather go out and buy the PS12 or the PS6 by that time, as opposed to playing on your console. You're going to be able to have that AAA game with the controller and have the same experience you would have on a console anyway. And the small difference in graphics, it's just the gap's not going to be big enough. I mean, you're just going to have your cell phone do everything, and it's just not going to make sense for having this dedicated piece of hardware. You know, I'll shut up after this. If you think of it, look what cell phones have done already.
Oh,
There was a picture on Facebook. If you could find it or I could find it, I'll send it to you, where they showed technology from the like 80s and 90s, and they showed you had a Walkman for your music, you had a Watchman to watch TV on, you had a camcorder for your camera, and you had whatever else. It showed everything was a separate device, and it shows that technology now in 2013 is your cell phone.
Yep.
You know, and now it's going to start eating up more stuff, and consoles and maybe even PCs, which, trust me, I don't want to see go away, may also be engulfed by that. And your cell phone, in 5 years, maybe 7 years, I think maybe like 7 to 10, will become your everything. We're already doing it now.
Yeah.
We're already doing it now.
And I'm okay with the technology advancing like that. I mean, gaming, you know, people get real defensive on both sides of the coin. And I really find myself right in the middle, you know, thinking about it practically. Like, gaming isn't going to go away. I mean, the game companies are still going to be making the type of games that people love and people get competitive about, and, you know, people spend 20 hours a day playing and all those things. So it's not going to go away. It just might look different. And, you know, I welcome the change. I'm always open to technology advancing, and anything that makes it easier for me to, you know, carry along with me and have that experience on the go, still bring home and have a great experience. I mean, I think if Apple would release a console right now with a controller in the living room where you could play the apps that you play on your phone, man, that would really shake up the gaming industry some, I think, because people would realize you could, man, you know, some people would get their hands on games like Modern Combat 4, Nova 3 for the first time and play competitive, you know, deathmatch and all those things on like this device, and then they could also take it with them on their phone. I think that would really shake up the gaming industry.
It would freak people out. And if you watch people play Modern Combat 4 with that earlier Moga, I think I forgot what the hell the name of it is again.
The Moga Pro?
Moga,
Yeah.
The original one, not the Pro. The people were playing Modern Combat 4, and their dexterity, they're moving around just as quick as they move around playing Modern Warfare 3, you know, or Black Ops 2. So things are going to change, man. And I hope that Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo realize that and don't just try to stick to, we just conventional consoles. Because I have a feeling, unfortunately, as much as I like consoles and I don't want to see them go away, I have a feeling they have no choice. They're going to have to embrace the change or die. And I have a feeling one of the three may just say, hey, die, because they don't know what the hell to do.
Yeah,
but that's a different video.
Yeah, it is. It's a different video. So let's talk about really quick what we're going to do, what we're all going to be doing on Smartphone Nation.
Okay.
So I think, obviously we're going to be doing iPhone or iOS and Android reviews, but I think we want to do some hardware reviews, too, correct? Anything that kind of has to do with mobile gaming?
Kind of, and mobile in general, like I said, like I have, a lot of people sometimes, like, for example, the MP3 player that I have, they don't want to have their very expensive cell phone, being sweat on at the gym, to give them alternatives to things too. It's just on the go, basically on the go reviews, whereas Review Tech USA and Classic Lead are going to be more so, just conventional gaming. This is kind of on the go. We're even going to include, like, Tony asked me before, would you think 3DS would be a conflict of interest? And I told him no, because I don't really think I'm going to bring that to Review Tech USA. We're going to do 3DS reviews. Tony more so, because I don't have a 3DS.
Yeah.
We're going to do Vita reviews. We're going to do, like I said, the MP3 player. I'm going to do the Acer Iconia, even though it's technically not a cell phone. It's a mobile device. So it's going to be really like portable devices and on-the-go technology that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Is really what we're going to focus on.
Yeah, it's the nation in smartphone nation. So we're gonna have a little bit of everything. So it'll be good. Yeah. So anything mobile really, and I think if there's anything you guys would like to hear us talk about, we're gonna do more of these news shows. Or if there's any mobile games that maybe even have come out in the past year that you don't, obviously since we just started the channel, we'd be happy to download them and give them a shot. So you can shoot us a message in the Smartphone Nation YouTube channel. And yeah, anything else to add at the end there, Rich?
Yeah, well, actually, you made a good point, and then we can finish it with that. That's the beauty of reviewing games for tablets and smartphones. They're affordable, so even if they aren't free, in most cases, we could review them.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
if you let us know, we'll more than likely review the games. If it gets enough demand, we'll definitely review them.
Yep, and for all the games that you've seen in this video, I'm trying 2 or 3 different games all on the iOS device here, so I will link them below if you're interested in playing any of them, and I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Leave feedback, leave comments in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and tell other people about Smartphone Nation. It's a great way to get out there and let them know that we are going to be reviewing numerous devices and numerous pieces of tech and numerous pieces of software.